Kids saving kids. Preventing self-harm or even school shootings. That's the premise behind a new statewide helpline.
Safe2Help Illinois is available 24/7 and is free for all school districts. So why aren't more schools using it?
CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey is digging into the story from Dixon, Illinois.
Shots fired at Dixon High School. Shots fired at Dixon High School.
We are in a lovely rural community in northwest Illinois, and you never think it's going to happen.
Before you knew it, everyone was running, but it was scary.
It makes you reflect on your practices, what you have in place and what you don't have in place.
It was boom, 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 right out in the hallway, like right here.
How did we miss something?
The era of considering schools off limits is over.
90 years after President Ronald Reagan graduated from Dixon High School, it gained national attention for a different reason. In 2018, a 19-year-old former student opened fire near the school's auditorium where graduation practice was being held. The shooter exchanged gunfire with a school resource officer. The teen was shot, but fortunately, no one else was injured.
How did we miss this? What was it that, we should have known? And what can we put into place that would help us or others in the future?
Superintendent Margot Empen tells me they'd done plenty of active shooter drills, but that was a reactive solution. Their more pressing question was about how to prevent this. And it turns out the state of Colorado had been working on that answer for decades.
And what the Secret Service found out is that students actually knew.
The premise, kids talk. The Columbine shooters talked about their plans before the massacre, which is why Colorado launched Safe2Tell in the aftermath. It's a state-run program that allows Colorado students to report concerns anonymously. But that program's been around since 2004. Illinois' version, Safe2Help, didn't get off the ground until nearly 2 decades later.
Why did it take so long for us to catch on?
We had the Parkland tragedy that happened in February of 2018, and followed by the Dixon incident and tragedy that occurred.
Back in Dixon, administrators were eager to sign on to the pilot.
I would guess we get one every couple of weeks.
Dixon High School principal Jared Shaner
Usually they come at night or on the weekends or on holidays.
Tells me it has changed the way his students ask for help. Their most common alert is for suicidal thoughts. In Safe2Help terms, that's a critical alert. And according to data obtained by the CBS 2 investigators through the Freedom of Information Act, more than 15% of all complaints from October 2021 to the end of 2022 were labeled critical, which means those were likely escalated to 911.
And I've had many texts and emails on the weekends in the middle of the night, and we try to respond immediately. We usually send an officer to the house.
The data also revealed 1,161 reports statewide, 2.6% involving the threat of a planned school attack. That's approximately 30 reports, which specifically trained dispatchers, schools, and police responded to.
I have no doubt that it has saved lives, from students who have issues with self-harm, from students who are being bullied, to ensure that we can get at it, we can stop it.
But here's the problem. Even though the system is free to all K-12 schools, at last check, Illinois only had 202 districts participating. That's less than 25% of all public school districts. We wanted to know, why aren't more schools using the system?
One of the biggest challenges is changing that mindset of this won't happen here. Unfortunately, even 20 years after Columbine, even in some pockets, that mentality still exists.
Safe2Help Illinois has ramped up its advertising campaign, and about 30 districts have signed up since October. Illinois isn't the only state that's been slow on the uptake. The program in Texas, called I Watch Texas, only received 300 school-related tips in 2021, a glaringly low number, and then came the May 2022 mass shooting in Uvalde. 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. Dixon Public Schools tells me there's some legwork required to get the program off the ground, but now they can't imagine a school day without it.
We'd love to have eyes and ears everywhere, and having another avenue anonymously like Safe2Help, we can hopefully get the resources and the supports needed quicker than we could just simply by mouth.
If your school isn't using Safe2Help, we'll have more information online. Just head to our website and click this story. The most popular way to make contact was through the web, but there's also texting, a phone number, email, and an app for students to make contact. In the Loop, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 Investigators.